Hello, everybody. Welcome to DocPoint Helsinki Documentary Film Festival 2022. My name is Arturo, and I'm here to moderate Q&A with Ruslan Fedotov. Yeah,
Right.
more or less. Director of Where Are We Headed? Nice to meet you, Ruslan. Thank you very much for being with us. It's a pity that we cannot welcome you here, but thank you. Your film is really a nice present for all of us.
Thank you very much. And I'm glad that I'm selected. It's probably the second time in the DocPoint because I had a movie called Salamanca and it was in 2018 probably in DocPoint. Yeah. So it's the second time.
Yeah, and also I forgot to mention, but your film is nominated for the DocPoint YLE Award for Best International Documentary Film, and that would not be the first award that you win, because already the film has had quite a lot of success in ITFA, for instance, and so congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And I think, one of the first questions is like, at least for me, and I guess for many people, is like, what drew you to film in Moscow Metro?
I had this idea for a long time while I was living in because I'm originally from Belarus and I was living in Minsk, and I had this idea for a long time. But and then I moved to Moscow, and of course, sometimes your ideas which you keep for a long time, they wanted to be filmed. And the Moscow Metro is really nice place, not only because it's a really beautiful place, like as a metro, because there is kind of museum, kind of temple, and historical place with really good interiors, but it's also like a very good space when you can be kind of hidden guy and see how people live. They are not just going from the point A to point B. There's something happen during this trip. Sometimes because of the winter and how you know Finland is close to Russia. We have really long winters, and during this cold weather, people gathering sometimes in subway and metro. They have meetings there. They dates even there, celebrate something. And for me it was a really good public space when I can tell something about our society, about our time, but like the whole movie underground. So that was kind of the first idea, and I wanted to spend 1 year there, but I spent a little bit more because of COVID. Yeah,
tell us about that, because just going for 1 year to the metro, how do they feel to go day after day and another day, and also the metro is huge, so I don't know, like, if you were also traveling, you have your favorite stations, or tell us about how you occupy this huge space for 1 year or more, what you say.
yeah. But of course I haven't go every day because I'm a bit lazy, and it's really hard to go every day, especially after 5 days. For example, I had kind of 5 days when I didn't have anything, and it's really hard to go again because it's not about the laziness, maybe, and tiredness. It's about, I don't know how to say, but yeah, it's about the patience, I would say. And this project was kind of challenge for me to go, even if I didn't have anything for 1 week or 2 weeks, I have to go again. It's kind of fishing. I already said once, it's kind of fishing for me. And it's, yeah, sometimes you can have anything, sometimes not. But the first idea was to follow celebrations which we have like in Russians have like 5 or 6 really huge celebrations, and it was a start point. My first day was on 9 May, which is Victory Day parade. Yeah, and I understood that this idea works after first day of shooting, and also I understood that I have to just kind of live there. But yeah, it's really hard. It's noisy. It's huge. I had couple favorite stations, mostly in the center because it's a transition stations, and there are a lot of people meeting, dating, staying, waiting, sleeping, drinking, walking. Yeah,
Filming.
but because I had an idea and structure, but if to be honest, the most of the footage is kind of spontaneous and random things.
Out of
Yeah,
curiosity, when you go, how many hours would you spend there? I guess it varied, but would you spend whole days there?
yeah. Whole days with a lunch, of course, break. Yeah. Sometimes nights, for example, there was a night. Ooh, Eastern. Fuck. Sorry. How does it call this celebration in English when Easter?
Easter.
No,
Yeah.
oyster.
Oyster
Yeah.
is good. Yeah. Easter, I think.
Yeah. And this night people are coming to the subway with the candles from churches with the light, and it was so beautiful. But because of Corona, this year there weren't a lot of people, but I've seen a couple times the scenes when they're coming with the light. So sometimes, and they didn't close the subway for the night, and I was waiting for a whole night for these people, but unfortunately I didn't include this footage. I don't know, because yeah, I
Well,
don't know why.
since you consider this being a little bit fishing, it's okay to call Easter oyster. I think it's totally acceptable. Uh, I was also I wanted to say, because at times, man, when you see the film, it's like it feels that you're invisible. You're so close to these people, and
Yeah,
some
yeah.
of they are sometimes very into conversation or actually in a stressful moment, and you're so close and hardly a knowledge. How do you manage to get this level of invisibility almost?
Hmm. It's a good question, because probably the most, I mean, how can I say, the main thing from this movie, the main amazing good thing from this movie is about this effect of invisible things. It's really, I think many people like to be invisible. I dreamed about it, and the whole life. I mean, it's really good, especially for documentary filmmaking, to be invisible and see how people live and stay hidden. And yeah, sometimes it was easy because in most of the situation people really didn't see me. For example, two guys who said where we headed, this phrase, they haven't seen me. But it was really scary moment for me. I was super afraid. I was waiting, if they will see me, something will happen, because of course they will not be happy to be filmed, probably. But I used a small camera, and I understood one thing, that if you are not nervous, you're just staying, doing something. Especially I used one hand the camera and second hand the smartphone, and people just don't recognize you. They don't care about you. They're going, they have this conversation, for, and 80% of cases they haven't seen me. For example, the Father Frost, or Santa Claus in Russian, Father Frost, with the girl, they saw me, but they didn't pay attention, and I haven't talked with them. they didn't care about me. They have a hot conversation. So some guy, maybe blogger, YouTuber, or crazy or photographer at the night, they don't care. They didn't care. And when you can do it a couple times, it's kind of, sometimes it's kind of not a drug, but it's a bit you can get adrenaline because how close you can be to people. Every time I check myself, wow, they really can't see me, and it gets a lot of power. But sometimes they started screaming. Some people,
Yeah,
started scream, and
uh,
they are not super happy, and and then it's kind of stress for me because and I said myself, probably it was not my day today, and then I waiting for a couple of days, and then I come back again. A
yeah,
lot of problems with police. Yeah,
mhm.
a
You
lot of
know,
problems with police because I didn't have any peppers because it's impossible. So, but with a small camera, I could be there. It's kind of, I mean, not illegal, but not legal too. It's tricky. But because of I didn't have any light and tripod, I could be with a small camera. But sometimes, of course, the Russian police, they didn't care, especially in the meetings. It was really, really hard, and I was afraid. But yeah.
some people might have also told me, well, that must be a hidden camera. But if I understood well, obviously it's not a hidden camera, but it's like a low profile. You were keeping a low profile, but you were always testing the limits of how close, because clearly,
Yeah.
there is not like a long lens. You feel that you're physically close to them many times. For instance, with the U.S. Marine, with the U.S. Army guys and the Russian guys, like you're really there, and it's a tense moment.
Yeah, but this moment, there were a couple moments when at this scene it's really interesting because the only one scene I not only me shot this movie. I asked on this special day to help to my friend who is actually not documentary filmmaker, and he shot this scene with American military, which is probably they are not American military. I still don't know, but some people said me that it's fake. And I don't have idea why those people in this day decided to put the military form. It's really still something not understandable for me. Nonsense, like. But he followed those guys, the Russian not ex-soldiers, but this force guys. He followed them, so he knew that he filming, and also the guy with the trees who put the Christmas trees. I also had some connection with them, because I said, "Hey, I'm filming here. Can I follow you?" He said, "Yeah, of course." So I followed him for 2 days because there were a lot of stations with Christmas trees. And I was waiting, but except these two situations, everything was spontaneous, and I didn't plan anything.
Mhm. Um, yeah, well, maybe we can talk a little bit also about this kind of a film, because for me it's the kind of film that sometimes, maybe a bit simplistic, if you write this film, people would say nothing happens in this film. It's a film that needs to be watched. It's not a film to be read in a paper, no?
Yeah.
And then you have lots of these moments that you've been filming over the year, and then you have it. How do you? Let's talk a little bit about the editing phase. How do you start like sorting it out? How do you start thinking, how do I build a movie now from this small celebration or small performance or small meaningful and expressive moments? How do you approach?
Yeah, thanks for this question. It's really good question. And editing was the really hardest part. There were three hardest part of this movie: to edit and create a title. I'm still not happy with this title, but and editing. Uh, First of all, I always try to edit by myself without any. I try to not think a lot, just to use my intuition, put some scenes, because, firstly, I'm a cinematographer and I watch a lot of movies. I can say that I'm cinephile, but I watch a lot of movies. And of course, for me, the most important thing, it's a time, coherence, these kind of things. I'm more close to poetic style of, yeah. And then because I have like really, because the problem was two a little bit different types of footage I had. One of them, the kind of raw, radical documentary, like observation without any poetic, but really strong because of, not strong, I mean, not really strong, but kind of nerve strong, raw documentary, I would call that. And some like poetic, weird, slow shots. And we have a winter, summer, some seasons, but if to be honest, it's not really clear. You can't recognize what is going on exactly if you don't know how the dates of the calendar follows each other. So first I made the raw cut, kind of 1 hour raw cut by me, and then I understood that I have to try something else. And we started working with Lisa Kozlova, Russian documentary director. I like that she liked the footage, and we started to we understood that we will not make something new, really like completely different structure or something. We started playing with emotion, like a roller coaster. Something sad, and then a bit funny, and then again, like this kind of things, emotional editing, if I can call that. Yeah. And then was interesting situation because I was in ITFA lab, a summer lab, and I asked about the tutor, and they provide me, I'm really grateful for this. They provide me a tutor who is the editor of Sergei Loznitsa, Danelius from Lithuania. He likes footage too, and I really like how he read it, because it's a little bit different. Maybe because he's from Lithuania. I don't know. Maybe because has a big experience with Sergei. But he suggested a little bit different structure. And I really wanted to try it, but I didn't have much time to try it. And it's a bit completely different that I had in my head. And I don't know how to say. Yeah, and I decided to stay with my intuition and things. And then Sergei Loznitsa watched the movie in ITFA, and he said the same word, but the same things that said Danelius. So they know another kind of structure, but maybe I'm young, or maybe it's my way. I don't know. But yeah, I did what I did. But we did, yeah.
Right, it's good to be offer an alternative and think through to say, okay, what do I want to do, and make a decision. I think at the end of the day, it's about making a decision and find your way. I don't know. We're probably curious about this other cut, but this film works very, very well. Ruslan, my next question was about the title, but now I don't know if I should ask or not. But it was a little bit. I was curious about the choice of the title, whether this is metaphorical or whether it is. Tell us a bit more if you want.
Yeah. I have a big list of potential titles for this movie, and we talk about it. Probably we couldn't decide it for 1 month. It's really weird. The title should be like this one, quickly, like. But for me, probably it was hard. And then the first title was Just Another Year, but there are another Russian movie with this title, so it's really hard to, I mean, it's not good to repeat. And Just Another Year, but it was more about the cycle, about the year, which is good. And then since beginning, I like this very much, the scene, where we headed, where we headed. He asked like 6 times. And for me, it's, of course, it works like metaphorical. It's not about the station, but where are we going? And especially in this political situation, I still have this question. Where are we going? Where are we headed? Yeah. So we decided to use this phrase from the movie.
I realized that when I was watching the film that sometimes I was getting a little bit like frightened. Like I thought, "Boo, I would be a little bit scared in this situation." I don't know. I thought maybe it's because I'm not Russian and I'm not used to, of course, to this place. It probably is totally normal. But you being more of an insider, do you also recognize that there are some frightening moments there, and were you dealing with that issue when editing?
You mean, should I be frightened after, like, when the movie will be screening, or?
No. When the moments itself that you film.
Yes, no, of course, I feel the really, of course, with the scenes with the police, with the protest scenes, it was really, really, really hard to shoot it. I was afraid, but sometimes camera helps to film it. You're kind of witness. You sometimes the editing should be. I like to watch the small screen, and I usually say myself, hey, I'm watching some movies, some documentary somebody should, not me. And then I have to just follow actions. And then when I watch in footage, I sometimes ask myself, wow, I was there. How? Like, I mean, but if to be honest, in Russia, there are a lot of documentary directors who shot a lot of movies about the protest up, not underground, but the
Yeah.
below. No, not below. How can I say?
Above,
Okay,
street
on the street
level.
outside. Yeah, and there was happening more scary things. So that was not really a scary situation. It was like kind of, I mean, yeah, it was scary, but not really how usually happened. So yeah, for them, for example, Lisa, who is the editor, she said, "Oh, that's okay." I mean, I said, "Oh, look at this footage." She said, "Oh, even girls, they do, especially from the school of Marina Razbeshkina, who is probably, her. She's a good teacher, and she has a really nice kind of radical documentary school in Russia, and all of her students really brave. So this scene is nothing in comparison with what they did.
Yeah, probably. I think we should be finished. I will talk to you for much longer, and I'm sure the audience will have so many questions that we cannot address. But it's true, this idea of there is also this idea of a stage, that everything has become a little bit of a stage, and bring a little bit this diminish a little bit this sense of danger. And also there is hope a little bit at the end. No? There is a lighter tone, a very tender ending scene. Ruslan, thank you very much for sharing your film with us and for sharing your process. It's been very nice to see you like really thinking and being very generous with what you share. Thank you very much, and good luck with the film.
Thank you for questions. Thanks for your time. Thank you for watching.